大家好. Hello everyone, it's Tai here. Today we'll be talking about the Imperial Coroner. I started watching this drama only a couple days ago, so I haven't finished the complete series. I'm probably like 1/3 of the way finished, but because I feel like it's a pretty good drama, I like to share some of my thoughts about it. I won't be sharing the practical stuff like the film production and the actors. You can check out Avenue X's video for that. I'll be talking about my first impression of the drama and the cultural stuff that I see behind the drama. When I watched the first episode, my first thoughts were that since this is a detective drama, I thought that it would be sort of like a Sherlock Holmes, especially because Chu Chu has an outstanding observation skill. Not only she can tell from the dead body how this person died, she also has the skill to reenact how the person died. And An Junwang also have this ability. Judging from the abilities of these two people, I thought that it would be a Sherlock Holmes sort of detective series. But as I watched further into the series, it was really different from what I thought it was. First of all, I really like this drama because it's very logical, first of all. And especially when it involves romance between Chu Chu and An Junwang, it seems like a normal relationship to me. The Imperial Coroner does not involve those cringy scenes or cliched scenes from other series. I understand other series have these sort of cliched and sappy scenes to emphasize the romance between the two characters. But at first, in the beginning, it's alright if you use that kind of scene or a cliched way to describe the relationship. But if you see it in a lot of dramas, especially nowadays, it's basically in every single romance drama, it sort of gets cringy in the end. But after seeing the relationship between Chu Chu and An Junwang, it seems like an actual normal and logical relationship. It's so much more normal than the other dramas that I've seen. I think this really attracted viewers because the relationship between Chu Chu and An Junwang is very logical. It actually seems like a normal relationship that can actually happen in real life. So the audience can relate to the relationship between Chu Chu and An Junwang, unlike some other series where they have cliched scenes and really sappy moments. Apart from the logical and normal relationship that Chu Chu and An Junwang has, I feel that every single character in the Imperial Coroner has their own purpose and a logical objective. For example, the Emperor. In the beginning, I thought the Emperor was a sort of Hunjun or a tyrant who would only care about his own joyful life and not care about the government. But however, as the series progressed, I realized that this Emperor is actually a pretty good Emperor. Not only is the actors acting really good, it really does portray the atmosphere of an emperor, but also the emperor's objective is actually normal and logical. It actually fits with his character. The series later on shows the emperor's wish to restore prosperity and restore the power of the Tang dynasty after its previous power struggle. And that seems like an actual normal objective of the emperor, which is a bit different from other emperors that I've seen in other dramas, like Di Jun from Love and Redemption. That Di Jun was not normal. And apart from the emperor, there is also the eunuch. The eunuch is actually portrayed very well, in my opinion, because eunuchs in Chinese culture, they are seen as sort of an evil type of person, especially because in Chinese history, eunuchs were known to have been the cause of the downfalls of many dynasties, like the Han dynasty and the Ming dynasty and the Qing dynasty, especially during the Han dynasty, when at the end of the Han dynasty, the government was basically ruled by 10 eunuchs who had extreme power and abused this power, which later caused rebellions from certain generals like Dong Zhuo, and eventually that led to the Three Kingdoms. And in Chinese history, eunuchs are also seen as very corrupt because if a family were to be really poor, the fastest way to attain wealth is not by crops or merchandise. It's actually by going through a surgical procedure to get into court, especially during the Qing dynasty, when the fastest way to get money was to go into the palace. And as a female, you can go through training and through selection, you might get into the palace. But for guys, you have to go through a surgical procedure before you can enter the royal court. And once you do enter the royal court, you start off as a low eunuch, but the longer you work inside the palace, the more likely you are to rise above the ranks. And once you get to a certain rank, the emperor might take a liking to you, and thus you might get more power and more wealth. And because of this, a lot of families in China, especially during the Qing dynasty, were willing to go through this surgical procedure to get into the court. That way they can get power and money. But of course, not all people are willing to go through this procedure to get wealth. And some did it because of their family situation being extremely poor. But there are people who went through this surgery for their own greed, to get more power and more wealth. Like the eunuch from Imperial Coroner. That eunuch, you can tell from his obsession with putting on a mustache. That is because eunuchs in Chinese culture aren't considered a complete person. So when they pass away and they need to be buried, their treasure will have to be buried along with them in order for their soul to rest peacefully and for them to become a complete human. But this also has to do with the greed the eunuch has, because the eunuch first goes into court because of wealth and power, and once he attained those, he would have the desire to become a complete human, and thus the eunuch's obsession with putting on mustache. Apart from the characters and their relationships, I feel that the design for the set is really on spot. I've heard that this series was sort of a low budget at first, but judging from what they have on set, it's actually very good. If you didn't tell me that this drama was set in the Tang Dynasty, I could guess almost immediately that this was from the Tang Dynasty. Why? It's because of the style of clothing and the architectural style. The Tang Dynasty is known as the Golden Age of China. Tang style architecture and costume has a very distinct feel to it. Tang style are known to be more grand and majestic. They do not focus on little tiny details like the Qing dynasty. Even though they aren't obsessed with details, they still have it. But because of this, their style is considered more grand, 大气 in Chinese. We can tell especially from the costumes, especially the girls' hairstyles. When you look at the maid, she has these two braids on the side of her head, and that was the iconic maid hairstyle in the Tang Dynasty. And if you look at Xiping Gongzhu or Xiping Princess, she has the distinct female hair makeover of the Tang Dynasty. And if you look at Xiping Gongzhu's face, you can see that it's slightly chubby in modern standards. But in the Tang Dynasty, chubbiness was actually the beauty standard. So if you were considered chubby, you were beautiful. This probably came from the saying 心广体盘, which means if your heart is boundless, then it would reflect on your body, which would also be sort of round and chubby. So for those of you who are slightly on the chubby side, don't worry, you're beautiful in Tang standards. So no need to put stress upon yourselves. And because of this, I give the costume design a 10 out of 10. They really did a good job on this. If I were to give the series a rating based on what I've watched so far, I would probably give it a 9 out of 10. It's definitely different from other romance dramas or detective dramas that I've watched, and it seems to be more normal and much more logical, hence making everything from the series much more lifelike and less fictional. And because of the story being much more realistic, it sort of made me wonder, would this story be actually true? Does Chu Chu really exist in Chinese culture? I actually asked myself that, and I haven't done any research, but it definitely gives me the feel that Chu Chu and An Junwang are actually real people. And the cases that they solved are actually real cases. That's how real it seems to me, which makes it very different from other dramas like fantasy drama or wuxia drama or even romance drama. And if you were to ask me, is this series worth to watch? I would definitely say yes. Apart from its logical storyline and good settings and good costume design, you can also learn a lot from it. When Chu Chu inspects the dead bodies, or when An Junwang inspects the crime scene, you can learn observation skills from them. And from Chuchu's inspection of dead bodies, you can also learn many other facts, like boiling vinegar would clean away the other odors that you have, or it would sanitize you, etc, etc. So if you guys haven't watched Imperial Coroner, I highly recommend it. I'm definitely going to finish the series soon, so I might make a final review, maybe. And that's all for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you like my contents. Thank you for watching, and until next time, 我们下次见。